What if I told you that behind some of gospel music's most powerful voices were lives filled with pain, secrets, and a bottle that never left their side? These weren't just singers, they were icons of faith, leaders of worship, and voices of hope. But off the stage, some were struggling just to make it through the night. While the world saw inspiration, the truth was messier than anyone imagined. These are 10 gospel legends who were drunk all the time, and the stories behind their silent battles might just leave you speechless. 10. Leandrea Johnson. Grammy-winning powerhouse Leandrea Johnson became known as the bad girl of gospel for her raw honesty about addiction struggles that shocked the conservative Christian music world. During her darkest periods, Johnson admitted to drinking from morning until night, consuming alcohol throughout entire days while battling deep personal demons stemming from childhood trauma and industry pressures. Her transparency about alcoholism was unprecedented in gospel circles, as she openly discussed how she would drink continuously during her lowest points, often live-streaming her intoxicated states on social media platforms. Johnson's struggles were compounded by public incidents, including arrests, erratic stage performances, and controversial statements that made headlines across Christian media outlets and mainstream entertainment news. The contradiction between her powerful, anointed vocal performances and her destructive lifestyle created intense scrutiny from both fans and critics who questioned how someone could minister effectively while battling such severe addiction. Her Grammy win for Jesus seemed to intensify the pressure rather than provide relief, as expectations mounted for her to be a role model while she was actively struggling with alcohol dependency. Johnson's drinking affected her ability to maintain recording contracts and consistent touring schedules, leading to canceled shows and strained professional relationships. Despite winning a Grammy for her powerful vocals, her addiction overshadowed her musical achievements for years, creating a cautionary tale about fame's pressures in Christian music. The singer has since celebrated multiple sobriety milestones, using her platform to advocate for addiction recovery and mental health awareness with the same raw honesty that characterized her drinking period. Her recovery journey has involved intensive therapy, spiritual counseling, and rebuilding relationships with family members and industry professionals who were affected by her addiction. Johnson now speaks at recovery events and uses her social media presence to share sobriety updates, inspiring others who struggle with similar issues while maintaining her authentic, unfiltered communication style. Her journey from the depths of alcoholism to becoming a voice for healing demonstrates the complex relationship between faith, art, and personal struggle within the gospel music industry. 9. Russ Taff. Russ Taff possessed one of the most electrifying voices in contemporary Christian music, yet he battled severe alcoholism throughout his most successful years. The former Imperials' lead singer would often perform while intoxicated, hiding bottles backstage, and maintaining his addiction even during peak career moments. Taff's drinking became so problematic that he would consume alcohol before, during, and after performances, creating a dangerous cycle of dependency. His powerful stage presence masked years of private torment as he struggled to maintain his public persona while fighting internal demons. Multiple treatment attempts failed before he finally achieved lasting sobriety, but not before his addiction nearly destroyed his career and personal relationships. Taff has since become remarkably open about his struggles, participating in documentaries and interviews that detail his journey through addiction. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the pressures faced by Christian artists and the human struggles that exist behind even the most inspiring gospel performances. 8. Ashley Cleveland. Grammy-winning rock gospel artist Ashley Cleveland maintained what she described as a functioning alcoholic lifestyle while actively recording and performing Christian music. Cleveland's addiction was particularly complex because she managed to continue her successful career while consuming dangerous amounts of alcohol daily. Her rock-influenced gospel sound masked personal turmoil as she struggled with the contradiction between her faith-based music and her destructive drinking habits. Cleveland would drink heavily between recording sessions, concerts, and ministry events, creating a double life that nearly destroyed her health and relationships. Her addiction progressed to the point where alcohol became necessary for her to function in both professional and personal settings. The turning point came when Cleveland recognized that her drinking was incompatible with her calling as a Christian artist and mother. She has since written extensively about her recovery journey, sharing how sobriety transformed both her music and her relationship with God, becoming an advocate for others struggling with similar addictions. 7. Roberta Clemens. Roberta Clemens built a reputation in gospel circles while privately battling severe alcoholism that threatened both her career and spiritual life. Known for her powerful ministry through song, Clemens struggled with the shame of addiction while trying to maintain her role as a spiritual leader and performer. Her drinking escalated to the point where it affected her ability to fulfill ministry commitments and maintain relationships within the gospel music community. Clemens has spoken candidly about how alcohol became her coping mechanism for dealing with the pressures of ministry and personal trauma. The contradiction between her public ministry and private struggles created immense guilt and spiritual confusion that deepened her addiction. Her recovery journey involved confronting not only her drinking, but also the underlying issues that drove her to alcohol as an escape. Clemens now uses her experience to minister to others struggling with addiction, sharing how recovery became an integral part of her spiritual growth and musical testimony. 6. James Moore. Gospel singer James Moore became unfortunately notorious for highly publicized incidents involving alcohol that severely damaged his reputation and career within the Christian music industry, creating viral moments that overshadowed his musical talents. Moore's drinking problems became increasingly visible and problematic as he appeared visibly intoxicated during interviews, social media live streams, and public appearances that were recorded and shared widely across platforms, creating embarrassing situations that went viral for all the wrong reasons. His battles with alcohol were often played out in real time through social media platforms where fans could witness his struggles unfold in disturbing detail, creating a modern phenomenon where addiction became public entertainment rather than private struggle. Moore's addiction led to increasingly erratic behavior that concerned fans, fellow artists, and industry professionals who watched his deterioration through various media platforms, including live-streamed drinking sessions that revealed the severity of his dependency. The singer's public intoxication incidents became cautionary examples within gospel music circles about the dangers of unaddressed addiction and the importance of seeking help before personal struggles become public spectacles that damage one's witness and ministry effectiveness. His drinking affected his ability to maintain professional relationships, secure consistent performance opportunities, and preserve the respect necessary for effective ministry in Christian music. The viral nature of Moore's addiction struggles represented a new phenomenon in gospel music, where social media platforms allowed real-time documentation of an artist's descent into addiction, creating unprecedented transparency that was both educational and deeply troubling. His story highlighted how modern technology can amplify the consequences of addiction by making private struggles instantly public and permanent through recorded content that continues circulating online. Moore's drinking affected his cognitive abilities, decision-making processes, and judgment, to the point where he would make choices that permanently damaged his reputation and career prospects in ways that might have been private in previous generations. His story serves as a warning about how addiction can destroy careers built on faith-based music and the critical importance of seeking help before public struggles irreparably damage one's witness, professional standing, and ability to minister effectively to others. 5. Wisdom. Kenyan gospel artist Wisdom openly shared his journey of overcoming severe alcohol addiction that nearly ended both his music career and his life. The East African gospel scene watched as Wisdom struggled publicly with drinking that led to depression and self-destructive behavior patterns. His addiction became so severe that it affected his ability to record music, perform at events, and maintain the spiritual authenticity expected of gospel artists. Wisdom's drinking was complicated by mental health struggles that created a dangerous cycle of depression and alcohol abuse. The artist used social media platforms to document both his struggles and his recovery journey, providing unprecedented transparency about addiction within African gospel music. His openness about drinking problems helped break stigmas surrounding mental health and addiction in religious communities across Kenya and beyond. Wisdom's recovery story has inspired many fans who face similar struggles, proving that gospel artists can overcome addiction while maintaining their musical calling and spiritual authenticity. 4. Michael English. Former Gaither vocal band member Michael English faced multiple scandals that led to dark periods involving alcohol abuse alongside other destructive behaviors. English's fall from grace in contemporary Christian music included drinking as part of a broader pattern of self-medication following public disgrace and career devastation. His addiction developed during a time when he lost recording contracts, performance opportunities, and standing within the Christian music community due to personal scandals. English turned to alcohol as a way to cope with depression, shame, and the dramatic change in his life circumstances from celebrated artist to industry outcast. His drinking became problematic enough to interfere with attempts at career rehabilitation and personal healing during his lowest periods. The combination of alcohol abuse and other destructive choices created a downward spiral that nearly ended his life and musical career permanently. English's eventual recovery involved addressing not only his drinking, but also the underlying emotional and spiritual issues that drove his self-destructive behavior patterns. 3. Mindy Issacs. Mindy Smith Issacs has spoken honestly about her long battle with alcoholism that persisted both before and during her involvement in gospel music circles. Her addiction represented what she described as an illness that controlled her life even while she participated in faith-based musical activities and ministry events. Issacs struggled with the contradiction between her involvement in gospel music and her inability to control her drinking, creating internal conflict and shame. Her alcoholism affected her relationships within the gospel music community and her ability to maintain consistent involvement in musical projects and ministry opportunities. The singer has described alcohol as a constant companion that she relied on to function in social, professional, and personal situations throughout her adult life. Her recovery journey involved recognizing alcoholism as a disease requiring treatment rather than simply a moral failing or lack of faith. Issacs now shares her story to help others understand that addiction can affect anyone, including those actively involved in Christian music and ministry. 2. Ben Issacs. Ben Issacs of the Issacs Family Gospel Group has shared about alcohol abuse struggles that affected both his personal life and his role within one of gospel music's most respected family acts. His drinking created tensions within the family dynamic that threatened both personal relationships and the group's professional stability and reputation. Issacs' addiction represented a particular challenge because the Issacs built their career on family unity and Christian values, making his struggles especially painful for all involved. His alcohol abuse affected his ability to participate fully in recording sessions, tours, and the family's ministry activities that were central to their musical mission. The family's collective approach to healing involved addressing Ben's addiction as part of their shared journey toward restoration and renewed spiritual focus. His recovery became intertwined with the family's overall healing process, demonstrating how addiction affects entire family systems rather than just individuals. Ben's openness about his struggles has helped the Issacs connect more authentically with audiences who face similar challenges in their own families. 1. Milan Lefver. Milan Lefver's addiction story represents one of the most dramatic and well-documented falls and recoveries in gospel music history, involving severe alcohol abuse combined with multiple other substances that nearly cost him his life and permanently destroyed his role in the legendary Lefver family gospel group. As a member of the pioneering Lefver family that helped establish Southern gospel music as a legitimate genre, Milan's drinking escalated to extremely dangerous levels that not only affected his health and personal relationships, but also threatened the family's musical ministry and their reputation as one of gospel music's most respected acts. His addiction progressed rapidly to include multiple substances alongside alcohol, creating a life-threatening combination that led to increasingly reckless behavior and a near-fatal overdose in the 1970s that shocked the gospel music community. Lefver continued performing and traveling extensively with the family group, even while struggling with severe addiction that threatened his life daily, creating enormous stress for family members who watched helplessly as he deteriorated despite their efforts to intervene. His addiction affected his vocal performance, stage presence, and ability to fulfill the demanding schedule required for successful gospel music ministry during the genre's growth period. The family attempted various interventions and treatment approaches, but his addiction had progressed to the point where he required constant supervision and medical intervention to prevent fatal complications. His dramatic overdose experience served as a life-changing wake-up call that initiated his committed journey toward sobriety and complete spiritual restoration after years of destructive behavior that had nearly destroyed everything he valued. The recovery process involved not only overcoming severe physical addiction and withdrawal, but also rebuilding damaged relationships within his family and earning back trust from the broader gospel music community that had watched his public struggle with concern and disappointment. Lefevre's transformation from near-death addiction to renewed ministry and restored family relationships became a powerful testimony that influenced countless others struggling with similar issues throughout the gospel music industry. His story demonstrates that even severe, life-threatening addiction can be overcome through a combination of medical treatment, family support, spiritual commitment, and personal determination to change, creating hope for others facing seemingly impossible addiction challenges. So, what does this hidden side of gospel legends tell us about fame, faith, and the battles nobody talks about? It makes you wonder how many more stories are waiting to be uncovered behind the spotlight. If this shocked you or made you see these stars in a new light, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share this with someone who loves gospel music, and subscribe for more untold stories that go beyond the surface. What other secrets do you think are hiding behind the music? Let me know below.